All right, folks, welcome back. It's still Journalist Hangout. And our next story. You know, the Nigeria First agenda is a policy designed by the federal government and is aimed at placing Nigerians at the heart of all business and economic activities, whereby local industries would take precedence in all procurement processes. The big idea is to reduce the nation's perpetual overdependence on imported goods. It is in this light, therefore, that the National Automotive Design and Development Council, NADDC, has applauded Nigeria's first policy. Its current DG, Oluwemimo Joseph Osanikpi, I hope I got that right, commends the policy, says it will drive patronage for made-in-Nigeria goods. Brother Adewale.
Yeah, I think I agree with that initiative. We should walk the talk.
Okay.
And where there's no culture, at least you can rely on experience. In 1975, we had the Volkswagen industry that was set up in Nigeria. Then we also have Peugeot. I think Volkswagen was in Lagos. And then
Peugeot Kaduna. And you had Anamco.
Yeah.
Anamco, Enugu.
You know, producing about 240.
Yeah.
So, and I think in later years, we produced some buses called Burem. That was around 1980 something. Burem, which was 80% locally made products.
Please also add ISO glass.
Yeah.
Michelin tire, Dunlop tire.
Yes. So those
glass
are selling tires, selling cars to us. If we continue to depend on them, they will never want us to develop as a country.
Yeah.
And you don't blame them. Every country has its own strategic interest. This is their own interest for you to keep on coming to them to buy, their produce. So it is time for Nigeria. We have the market with about 200 million people, not just in Nigeria, but in the entire West African country. Thank goodness that in the whole of West Africa, we don't have a major country that's known for manufacturing, automobile.
Yeah.
So the market is still there for us, not just in West Africa, but also in Nigeria. I believe we can do it. I know even in the area of military, we are, manufacturing military automobiles.
Yes.
Proforce and many other companies like that. I think about 3 of them. So there is no reason why we cannot use the same technology to produce automobiles, except that our leaders, they should not just be telling us that we should patronize.
They should also patronize.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
With a few exceptions.
Especially those senators. Every time it's Prado that they come for.
With a few exceptions where you need custom designed, for instance, the president of the country.
I like what the governor of Anambra did.
Yeah.
Went for what's the name? The local Innocent Motors. Yeah.
So you will discover that if we're able to patronize the local industry, it's going to improve the domestic economy. It's going to create more jobs. It's going to improve Nigerian economy.
Open this
globally.
place.
If you are not buying your own products, how will you expect people in Togo, in Ghana to come and buy your products? So I think it's a very good thing, and I think it's good that they are going to make it a constitutional issue. Yeah. Our ministries that will go to Japan and inspect factories and then buy vehicles from Japan, from Europe, we should buy locally made products. If we do that, I can tell you that in the next 2-3 years, Lagos will also go into manufacturing of individuals and corporate organizations.
Yeah.
We're also going to manufacture to meet local demand. So this is a very impressive step forward.
What you said about meeting local demand is very critical.
Okay.
One thing that can discourage people from helping this to succeed is when those companies do not have capacity to produce
to meet demands.
I'll give the example what happened with the governor of Abia State. He wanted all the vehicles, that the state will be using, either for its convoy and their ministries, the agencies and parastatals to come from Innocent. He made up his mind. He announced it. Suddenly, Nigerians saw that, he's gone for Toyota and all that. And people were attacking him, attacking the governor.
Are you surprised?
They didn't know why. Because Nigerians sometimes, out of ignorance, they will just be saying what they like. You know?
Yes.
So, a spokesman now came up to say, no, this was what we asked for, but Innocent couldn't meet our demand. Innocent did not have enough units to meet the demand that we asked for at that time. We had no choice but to now go and bring in all those Toyotas and all that. But for the people who did not know, who are abusing them and saying, oh, they do not put Nigerian first, they did not want to help a Nigerian company to succeed. They didn't know that Innocent didn't have enough to meet that demand at that time. There was also a disagreement between Innocent and Imo State. The governor said, what you do for me, you set up a service center in my state. We'll buy from you. And they did the deal in running into billions of naira. But they did not set up that service center. And the man knows that the more you use these vehicles on convoy, these vehicles that are being used for security patrol, the wear and tear will need replacement of parts and all that. That was why he said, no, come and set up a service center here so that when we have issues, they will just go there at the service center, those issues will be. I don't want to go deep into this because I know that both leaders came together. The governor refused to pay the balance, but they came together at some point and the governor agreed that, okay, let's resolve this issue. But the point I'm making is, those companies, I know that Nord, for example, does very good cars, just like Innocent. I've seen some of their Jeeps, even at Unilag. I saw Nord, N-O-R-D. I saw one of their Jeeps. I couldn't believe that it was a Nigerian car, you know. So, but there is need to support them to meet capacity, because it takes time to build. I've done some stories for Proforce, for example. Many Nigerians didn't know Proforce was there before I did a documentary. It takes time to build one MRAP, the mine resistance and ambush protected vehicle. It's 5 meters high. They use it in the thick of battle. It offers protection to troops because you fire at it, it will not penetrate. And even if you fire at the tire, it can still, it's a round flat tire that they use, they can still move for some kilometers. For not less than 50-60 kilometers from that area where it was shot, so that at least you take the people away from
to safety.
So, but it takes time. Capacity has to be expanded for people to be able to produce more. They will need support of government. They will need credit from banks. Credit that will not turn out to be injurious. You know, we talk about PPP as alternative to government just bringing money to build roads, to do this. But the companies also need to approach the banks. If you give them loans at commercial rate, it defeats the purpose.
That's it.
Because they won't be able to execute that contract at the time. So there's a need for some policies to also come in. I'm happy that the National Assembly came up with this, but I just hope that this is not just meant to titillate us unnecessarily. So because they are the ones who use luxury goods, luxury items, luxury vehicles, automobiles from outside of the country. Will they agree, for example, to say, okay, Senate, the next 2 years' time, when a new set of lawmakers come in, we are going to use Jeeps
made in Nigeria.
Jeeps from Innocent or Jeeps from Nord and others, because it's possible. Look at the money, that kind of money that they spend on those their Jeeps. Each of those Jeeps is in excess of 100 million that they buy them. Now, if all of that money helping to build the economy of other countries, if we can keep the money here, even the hunger for the dollar will be able to address it.
Wale, are you in any way querulous about what President Trump did with his America First policy? Well, you know, taking it from here.
You see, for me, I think because we are not Americans, so it's not likely that we agree with him because we want something that will benefit us. But the truth of the matter is that you can't take it away from the fact that President of America is thinking of his own people first. So if someone is thinking of his own people first, then we too should think of initiatives that will put the interests of our people as the most important thing.
Yeah.
You see, and when we are talking about car manufacturing, it shows that, you know, we are talking about US doing that today now. In the future, because of the rise in far-right groups, even in Europe, Britain can do the same thing. Germany can do the same thing.
Okay.
You know, France can do the same thing, depending on who emerges as the leader of these countries in the future. So what President Trump is telling us is that, look, you have to begin to look inwards, think of your future, and to be less dependent. Of course, no country can be self-sufficient.
Oh, yeah.
But don't build a country where everything is dependent on other countries.
That's it.
When Japan started, you know, in the post-war era to build cars, the primary thing was to focus on Japanese. And that's why they emphasize fuel efficiency and affordable cars that ordinary people could afford. Today, the first car they manufactured in Japan was called Takuri. But from Takuri, they moved to Honda, to Japan, Toyota. And now today, you know, Japan is a big market for automobile. It's not that we're going to start one day and then there's going to be a boom. It has to be gradually. So I think that I believe what government has said, we need to walk the talk. We need to ensure that, you know, we practicalize it. The government officials must show good examples, you know, and also we need to encourage the existing manufacturers. I think there are just 3 of them. We have Dana, we have Nord, and then we have Innocent. So more should come on board so that we'll be able to meet the rising local demand.
As they say, the more the merrier.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.